Hi Positive Viewers, Positive right here today with another video, and today we're going to be book chatting a beautiful book that I probably low-key already showed you, which was not my intention. But anyway, we're going to be book chatting Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This book was very popular last year. Everybody was talking about it and stuff, and I was doing other things. So, it took me until January this year to read this book, but I finally read it. And I am so happy. Like, I could not be happier because this book was legendary. I enjoyed myself so much. I haven't enjoyed myself reading a book like this in a while. Like, the enjoyment that I felt from this book was just overflowing. Like, I just could not handle it. But anyway, first off, I want to show you guys this book naked because, do you see that? Like, that is unmatched incredibleness. Anyway, this book is about a girl. This girl in this village or whatever, magic is like illegal, and basically they rid the world of magic. Well, basically their interpretation of this is that the gods left them and stuff, which means the magic left, and it's illegal because the king killed everybody a long time ago that had magic because they overtook everything and he did not want them to do it again, so he basically made it illegal, and now they live in fear and stuff. And it's about the girl, and she's amazing, and the book pulled me in from the start. If you enjoy freaking fantasy themes, Nigerian culture, because this book is basically like a Nigerian, it's set in like in Africa somewhere, and like anything like that, freaking read this book because it's amazing. Squad goals, read this book. Just read it. It's just so good. I'm gonna talk about this book forever, and I will. But I need to talk about the spoiler stuff because I have so many notes. But anyway, hope you go out and read this book if you haven't yet. If you have, then stay and talk with me. So, the first note that I have is that this book pulled me in from the start, like I already said. I was on page 14 when I really felt like, I was like, dang, this book is going to be amazing. Like, I just had the feeling. Like, I just knew. I just wanted to keep reading constantly, and it was just the most amazing feeling ever. Her outburst during the guard raid. Zelia is the main character, and she is very angry. She has a lot of anger built up inside because the king killed her mother a long time ago because she was a magic ruler or whatever. And she outburst because one of these guards came in of the king and they were looking for magic or whatever. They were being normal because they don't practice magic, but they still get really like a lot of hate or whatever because of their white hair, because their white hair signifies that they had magic once upon a time. So, and she outbursted against the guard, and like he wasn't having it. Like he basically was like, if you say something else, I'm gonna like take you and kill you or whatever. But still, she outbursted, and it was the most amazing thing ever. I immediately stand, and now I love her. Like, Zelia is my queen. The conflicts in this book feel so real. Like, it really leaves you on edge and fearing for the characters. And this is completely what I say and agree with still right now. Because everything in this book that happened felt so real. It was just like so realistic. It was like I was watching it, I was in it, I was feeling it. It was just amazing. I honestly cannot describe the greatness that I felt while reading this book. I feel so honored to be reading this book. Honestly, it's just so amazing, and so many people have talked about it. I'm glad I can join in on the conversation because I heard some stuff about it, and I knew it was going to be something that I probably would like, but I just been putting it off and for reasons and stuff. But now I finally read it, and it feels so freaking good. The book is so good to me, okay? I've never read a book with an all-black cast of characters, and it's the greatest thing ever, and it just makes me feel great. And that is still something that I still really, really applaud this book for. Tomi Adeyemi snapped because all these characters are black, and it's beautiful, and I just loved it. It was just so nice seeing a world immersed in that. I just look, okay, I was feeling some way. It was just so nice. This is the first book where the black guy wasn't just the best friend or the comedy relief character. He was an actual character instead of a trope. And I feel like all the characters are like that. They're like actual characters with depth and meaning and like a backstory and stuff that's not just like a cookie cutter thing. And they have like they're not 2D, they're 3 and 4 dimensional characters, and I just love them all. I'm just gonna keep talking about that the whole book. Like, I had to legit stop the book, like stop reading for a second and just be like, oh my god, like I can't believe I'm reading this. Like, I was just having heart attacks over and over again. Love that for me. So Zelia snapped with her trading skills because what happened was after this guard raid, she went back to her house because something was happening with her father. She went back and her brother was kind of mad at her because Zelia is the type of person who does stuff and without really thinking about what she's doing, and it kind of messes them up sometimes. But, you know, she was like, I'm going to do this. Let me do this. I'm going to trade our fish that we catch every day, and I want to trade it for some money so that we can pay off these taxes that keep going up because the guards are not playing with us, so we need to do something about this. And she was like, I'm going to do it because I keep messing up, and I want to make right. Like, I want to make these things that I've been doing right. So she does, and she goes to the trading thing, the marketplace or whatever, and then she trades off her fish, and it's so wonderful how she does it. She's like, she like said something like, she was like, okay, these are the fish, you know, never tasted anything better. And then he gave her an offer, and she was like, she started walking away like, sorry, I guess I'll bring these to people who can actually afford them. And then the person ended up giving her like triple what her actual amount was because of her trading skills. And I was just so shook. Like, Zelia is the best. I love her. Anyway, then while she's in the market, everything's going fine, but then all of a sudden this girl runs up to her and grabs her by like the hand or whatever, and is like, you gotta help me, like they're after me, you have to help me. And then these guards start rushing into the marketplace, and she's like, what's going on? And basically the girl is Amari, the princess of this king that killed all the magic people or whatever, and she's running away from home because she saw her best friend, who's also a servant, be killed for magic. And she found this scroll that was used to like expose her for having magic, and now she is running because she's like, I can't deal with this. I don't want to be a part of this anymore because my best friend just got killed. So she's running, and she wants Zelia to help her because she's obviously wanted by the king because that's his daughter. So then my favorite character, he already popped up low-key, but like this is when he first like is important or whatever, because basically his name is Inan or Inen, whatever. I don't know which one I'm gonna say during this book chat because I was calling him Inen, but like now it's unfair to just say Inan. Well, whatever. So he is Amari's brother, and he is a prince, and he, unlike her, he's more loyal to his dad and like the kingdom or whatever. So he is tasked with bringing her back because obviously the king doesn't want everybody to find out that, oh my god, my sister is like on the run. But the thing is that he didn't know it's his sister yet, so he's just going out with the rest of his guard or whatever, and then him and Zelia meet eyes when she's like escaping, and it's just like this connection that you can already see. No one knows really what it is, because at first it's just described as like a feeling that both of them have, and it's not like some love at first sight something. And it was like an actual thing that happened between them, and he felt it and so did she. And it's just, I'm going to continue explaining this. I don't know if I want to explain it now because I might have talked about it later. But anyway, this is the note. When Inen and Zelia saw each other during the raid for the fugitive, they felt this jolt of some kind, and that they could both recall when they thought of each other, which was very interesting because they could both recall it. They were both talking about how it felt and stuff and how they both felt it. It was just amazing. So the consensus is that after the death of her friend, this is Amari, after the death of her friend, she fled the palace, and the king tasked her brother, Inan, whatever, with finding her and Zelia since she was with her, because Inan obviously saw Zelia when they caught eyes or whatever, and the king tells him that actually the girl that they were trying to find is his sister. So he tasked him, solely him, not his guards, anybody else except for like the commander who already knows, to go find her, because the kingdom can't find out that his daughter is on the run with the magical scroll, you know. It wouldn't be the best thing. And Zelia's first dream meeting. Okay, so the thing is, Inan basically, when he saw Zelia, since she had the scroll basically ignites magic within people. When he saw her, the magic like came alive within himself, and he was just like, what is this? Like, this is a virus. I need this out of me. It was just really tragic because he was like, he hates magic. The people in the kingdom, they hate magic, and they wanted to abolish, and that's why the king killed everybody or whatever. But now there's a possibility that it could come back because of the scroll or whatever, and he's just like, oh my god, I have magic. This is not okay. I hate myself. So basically his magic, he can make, a part of his magic is being able to bring people into dreams. And he brings Zelia into this dreamscape, and she's like, what's going on? But basically the thing is, she's taunting him the whole dream, and it was beautiful because she was like, wow, little prince, you're gonna tell your dad that you have magic now? Because she knows the king hates magic, and he was just getting so mad. It was just so funny. One of the best first meetings I've ever saw of scene. Wow, scene of two characters, and it was just so, I felt it in my bones. I love them. Anyway, I think you can tell what my ship is gonna be. And also, the next note I have is that this book gave me Avatar vibes, and I have to say that this is the complete truth because somebody actually pointed out all the similarities with it, and it's not like a ripoff. It's more like she took some of the same themes and made it like 30 times better, and we definitely stand. Inan gave in and harnessed his power, bringing Zelia into another dream where she taunts him again and talks about his white streak in his hair and calls him Little Prince, how she makes him second guess himself, and it was beautiful. Because basically magic, obviously, you know, her hair is white because she figured out that she has magic now because when she touched this girl, she has magic too. And these people with white hair obviously are the people who have magic if magic actually did exist or whatever beyond this scroll. And he, since his magic just ignited in himself or whatever, he all of a sudden had a white streak in his hair. So he always wears his helmet because he can't let anyone see it because obviously that would give away that he was a whole magic person. And that would not be good. So it's funny because she just keeps taunting him about it. And it's just amazing. And he's like, she makes him second guess himself like, wow, what is this? Like, what is this? It's just, I love them. It's something I almost never see in the books that I read. Like, a girl waltzing and just making the guy character like completely second guess himself and be like, oh my god, like rethink his whole existence. We stand. I ship them completely. I just said that. I ship them. She wielded his magic, made a lake, and jumped in. Because basically these dream things, she can also still do her magic. So they're in the dream and he's watching her or whatever. And she knows how to use her magic more. Her mother has magic and she kind of was telling her what to do or whatever before she died. And in this dream, she like creates a lake and stuff and she like jumps in and she's just having fun or whatever. And he's just watching her. And he said that his breath faltered. Like, if it's a trick, it's working. I love them so much because it basically was like he was thinking maybe her magic is making me like her, but it probably is working. So because people describe them as love at first sight or whatever, and I say this, it's not love at first sight. It's more like lust at first sight. Like they saw each other, both of them are cute to the other person, and they're like, wow, they're cute. Like it wasn't love at first sight. It wasn't love at first sight. I googled it. It describes as somebody who sees somebody and then the next minute they're talking about how much they love them. That is not what happened with these characters at all, and that's not what they are. So it's not insta love. It's not none of that. Nope. Ha. She gave herself away though during this dreamscape thing because she was talking about how there was in the town that she was in, which she did not know because he was following them. Basically the whole book is him trying to chase down Amari and Zelia and her brother Tizan, who is with them. And basically she gave herself away by describing something that only happens in the town that she's located in. So he figured out what town she was in, whatever. So he finds out and he goes. But the general saw him in the real world because when he was doing the dream or whatever, he was in his temple because that's the last place where Zelia and them were. But he was in the temple and he figured out his magic was really strong there, so he started wielding it and like casting a spell or whatever that made himself go into the dream. And when he came out of the dream, the general that was traveling with him saw him come out the dream, like saw him chanting and stuff, and she was like, what is going on? And he tried to explain it to her but it didn't work out, and he was so adamant about her not telling anyone else because basically the whole interaction was, you're magic, and he was like, no, but like, I can explain. The girl, she poisoned me or whatever, and then she was trying to like she was trying to be okay with it or whatever, but then she was like, you got to go back at once. I will not be responsible for you dying or becoming a magic or whatever on my terms. Like you have to go back to your dad or whatever. And he was like, no one else can find out. And then she tried to leave, and he was like, no, don't leave. And like his magic got out of control because his emotions were out of control, and he accidentally killed her. The secret love of his father's life, how he's becoming the very monster he's supposed to be hunting, and that was such an interesting part of him. He is my favorite character. I really relate to him, as I'll talk about more later. But the fact that he basically was becoming the monster that he was trying to hunt and like get rid of was just interestingly, intriguingly beautiful. Amari is realizing her strength through this entire book because at first she starts out as this meek little princess. She tried to run away, but she's basically like the person that likes to be on the sidelines, like anything happening, I don't want to be part of it type person. But throughout the book, especially when they go to this town that Zelia low-key told him about but didn't mean to, they have to do this competition to get this second device, artifact or whatever, to do the ritual to bring magic back. And she realizes that she can do it because she protects Zelia, who is like useless at the time because she's using so much of her magic. She like could not like be conscious or whatever. So she defended herself and then she figured out that maybe I'm not like the meek little princess or whatever. Maybe I'm the lioness. And Amari snapped. Her character development the character development in the book kind of snapped. Just gotta say. And then Inan found them and then fought with Zelia because basically they were having fun. They got the artifact and all that. They won the competition. It was all groovy. They were at this lake or something and they decided to stop for a second and have some fun. They're all dancing around, throwing each other into the water. It's fun. Her brother, Amari, and then Zelia. and they're all having fun or whatever, and then all of a sudden Enid comes jumping in, like running in on his horse, and he like, let's get it, and Zelia's like, I can take him, and then she grabs her sword out or whatever, and they start fighting, and that's just the thing, and it was fine and dandy. And it says she's being so murderous trying to find out where her brother is, and I love every minute. Because what happened after this was they were fighting. In the middle of their fighting, these random people, we don't know where they came from or any of that, they grab Tizan and Amari, and they just take them. And then Zelia and Inan are like, what's going on? Like, basically this whole fight scene with them was they were fighting, and then Inan was about to kill her. For some reason, I forgot, I think somehow she got weakened, and he had a spot to kill her. But his magic, it makes him see, like he can see your memories and stuff if he touches you or if he's near you or whatever. And he can feel how you feel. And he started looking through, like he low-key started looking through all her memories and stuff. About her mom dying and stuff like that. And he realized that his father really was doing things wrong. And that he couldn't imagine feeling that much heartache and sorrow and stuff. And he was like, dang, I don't want to be another person to hurt this girl. Like, I don't want to be another person that she knows hurts people to hurt this girl. So he got up. He was like, I'm not going to kill you or whatever. And then she was like, whatever. Okay, good. And then she grabbed this guy that they got from the caravan of people who had taken her brother and Amari. And then started just, like, not torturing him, but, like, low-key torturing him. And being like, you better tell me where they are. And she was just being so murderous. And I was in love with it, you know. Inan is very remorseful. He doesn't like to kill, but he feels like that's the only way he can be king. But when he sees Zelia's memories and understands her pain, it gives him a new perspective, and he realizes that he wants to be a better king than his father. He's so interesting, and that's what I'm saying, because through this whole book, he's warring with himself, like, magic is bad, but I just saw Zelia do it, and it was nice. I have it, and I don't really mean to hurt anyone. He doesn't like to kill people, that's the thing. His father did tell him to burn down their village in the beginning of the book or whatever, but he didn't want to, like, he's not a killer. There's that. But anyway, yeah, he's just so interesting because if he realizes that after seeing Zelia's memories and understanding her pain, because it's not like he just knows what happened. He literally felt the emotions that she was feeling at that time and stuff, going through it himself, basically. And he's just like, wow, I really want to be a better king than my father. And that was just so interesting. They join forces because they have to find his sister and her brother, and they go to this camp, and turns out the camp is other magic people who thought that they were stealing the scroll with the magic or whatever, and they were going to do the ritual, but they don't know about how. Only somebody from a certain bloodline or whatever can do the ritual, which means only Zelia can do it. So they figure all this out. They join forces with the other Magi's and they celebrate having all the things for the ritual, and Zelia falls into this guy who winks at her and stuff, and I'm like, no, Inan is the one. I'm skipping a lot of stuff here. I don't even know why. Like, I don't know. But some stuff happened because they went to the camp or whatever, they caused a diversion, they got them out, but then turns out when they were about to like kill each other, they were like, wait, we're both Maggies. Like, let us in. Don't fight with us. And they joined forces, like I said, and then they just had a celebration because Zelia was the one that's going to do the spell, and they got all the artifacts. They're like, yes, time for a celebration. So they all celebrating stuff, and that's why I'm saying, like, she bumped into this guy, and he winked at her, and I was like, nope, Inan is the one for you. And I had this all in all caps, this next note, because it's about Inan and Zelia. So she was teaching him how to control his magic, and they went into the dreamscape, and she was like, you look stupid when you're surprised. And he said, you rather enjoy insulting me, don't you? And she said, it's almost as satisfying as beating you with my staff. And I love them so much. I literally love them. One of my favorite ships in YA ever. I just love them. I love them. I love them so much. Okay, they were about to kiss, and then Tizan interrupted them. Her brother saw them and was like, get off of her, because you have to think about the fact that Inan is the prince of the guy who killed their mother, for one. For two, he burned out their village, so they're enemies. But the thing is that he's realizing, he's remorseful, he's realizing that his father made errors and he wants to change them. So Tizan needs to chill. But anyway, and just threw so many insults at her about how he was disappointing her, like SMS, STFU. And that's what I was saying, because after Inan like walked off because he was feeling like, dang, like he pushed me off of her or whatever. And basically he was just scolding Zelia about how dumb she was, talking about how disappointed in her he was. Like, shut up, like, chill, okay? You don't know what's going on. Like, you don't know the whole story. I wasn't okay with that. The deaths in here and stuff are so real, because this is coming to the end of the book, and the end of the book was insane, because a lot of people that I know had read this, and first off, they hate Inen, and I was like, why do y'all hate him? Like, up until the end of the book, I was like, why do y'all hate him so much? Like, I did not see myself hating him at all, because he was quite literally my favorite character, because just his scenes, all his point of views, it was just so interesting to be inside his head, and plus, I relate to him a lot, and that's just that hating yourself so much that you just want to kill the others around you that are like you, like, not like want to kill, that's not what I mean. That's not what I meant, but like what I mean is just hating yourself so much and just making that hate makes you dislike the others around you that are like you or whatever. Yeah, I went through that, so I understand him, okay? But still, the thing is that I still never saw myself hating him, and I still don't after his books, just so you know. But I said deaths in here are so real because while they're having a celebration and stuff, and in Zelia, they're kissing and stuff because Tizan is over there with Amari, and they have some nice scenes. It was cool. But then all of a sudden, the guards from the king come, and they bust them. They're like, you're gonna die, bring us the girl, bring us the princess and the other girl and the scrolls, and we'll be on our way. And they're like, no. And they're magies because they, there's this thing called blood magic, and if you do it, it like makes you really powerful and stuff. It's kind of like Gerda Parham from the freaking Six of Crows books. It basically is when a magic person takes this, they basically become all powerful, but it also could kill them. So somebody does this, and then it ends up being this really murderous thing because a whole bunch of guards die and people are just left really dead. And then they end up killing one of the girls that was like in charge of the camp. It was really sad, but everything in the book is so freaking vivid and real. It was like I was sitting there watching it all happen. It was just amazing. But anyway, so that happened, and then they end up capturing Zelia because Tizan and Amari are like, forget it. Not Amari, but Tizan is like, forget it. You know, I'm not gonna stand here and watch Zelia just ruin her own life with this boy, so I'm gonna go. And right when he's doing this is when the guards come. So then Amari and Zelia, Amari and Tizan, they don't get taken or whatever, but then Inan, does he run off? I don't even remember, but like he disappears, and then Zelia is like walking back to the camp, like what's going on, and trying to help her friends and the other Maggies fight or whatever. And she gets captured by the king, Inan's and Amari's father, because he's there to collect his daughter and her and the scroll. So then we have what I thought was going to happen is he had lured them there. That's what I thought people hated him for. He had lured them to this place and all that, but that was not what happened. So it wasn't even like I did not hate him after this. But anyway, so after that happened, basically I don't know when this is. But anyway, I'm just going to explain it now. Inen chose his father's path and is going to fight alongside him. And the thing is that I remember this. They had tortured Zelia. They took her magic or whatever. They kind of low-key took it because they like carved maggot into her back, which is what they call the Maggie peoples. So basically they did this, and she was really feeling like really debilitated and stuff. She was really weak, and her magic, she could not feel it anymore. It was horrible for her. But Inen was talking with his dad the day after this. He had tried to like stop the interrogation. He was completely adamant about doing what he said and creating a better Orisha for everybody and just being the better king. But he was talking to his dad after this interrogation or whatever, and his dad was telling him the story of how he almost chose his heart over the kingdom because he was in love with the Maggie, but then that Maggie or something like that got his family killed, and then he was like, that's the last time I almost chose my heart before the kingdom. I never do it again. And then his dad, and then Inen realized, he was like, I cannot choose this girl that I just met over my entire kingdom and what I've known my whole life. Which is completely valid. Like, y'all cannot hate him for this. I don't understand. Like, it would be faker if he was ready to just give up everything for this girl he just met. Like, I'm shook. But anyway, what I said was, yes, he chose to fight alongside his father, and he figured out how to get the scroll, which was to get her dad, and then bring him there and be like, give us the scroll and I'll give you your dad. You know, it was messed up. That was messed up. But he was choosing his dad, who he has known his whole life, who is his father, and who he thinks knows best at this point, and his kingdom over Zelia, which, that's valid. You cannot be mad. Anyway, and that's messed up, but his whole life he believed that magic is the enemy, and all he sees, except for Zelia, is it being just that. Because all of the killing and stuff when the guards came, they didn't have to do all that, and like it happened, and it was bad. And that's what he sees. He just sees the evidence of what his father has been telling him all the time, and he just sees like, well, I gotta fight alongside him now. And plus, his dad told him the story about how he almost chose his heart over the kingdom and it turned out horribly. So you gotta think, he's like, I don't want to make that mistake, and it's not a betrayal, more like he saw the error in his ways. What he thinks is the error in his ways is him almost choosing a girl over the whole freaking kingdom. During the whole book, he's warring with himself, okay? And he just wanted his father's approval. And yes, he messed it up in the end anyway, because, yeah, man, my boy going through some shit. I am so funny. Basically, what I was saying was, after he chose to grab her dad and they got the scroll and stuff because they were going to do the ritual, but she didn't even have any magic, so it was like a whole bust. But then they killed her dad anyway after she gave them the scroll and all that, and it was a whole gigantic fight scene because everybody that was Magi and everybody who was guard, they all just started fighting because obviously Zelia like just lost her freaking dad. Like, they're not gonna stand for that. So everybody started fighting, and then it was a gigantic fight scene, and then his dad, they were fighting and stuff, and then he was about to die, and his dad was about to die, and Inen was like, oh my god, my magic could help him right now, but I can't. And he also lied on Zelia and told his dad that Zelia was the one who killed the person that he likes or whatever, that was like the commander or whatever, the general, earlier in the book, when it was really him. So that's what he thinks. He's led to believe this because some stuff was left at the site of her death that he thinks belongs to Zelia. But anyway, so Inen is seeing his dad about to die. He's like, let me use my magic for good. Let me use my magic to help him. He will be okay. He will understand. So he breaks out his magic. He breaks out his magic and starts using it to help his dad. His dad just completely 360s because at first, right before this, he came up to him and was like, I'm so proud of you, son. Like, you chose the right path or whatever. And he's just like, I've been waiting for that look my whole life. And then he's about to die. And he's like, Dad, look out. And he, like, uses his magic. He's like, my dad will understand. And then his dad look completely changes. And he's like, oh my god, you're a maggot. You're a Maggie. And he just started going off on him. And then he was just like, Inen was just inwardly, like, just dying inside. Because he was just like, wow, I really thought he was going to, like, appreciate me. He really didn't. So then he, like, grabbed him and, like, stabbed him somewhere. And I was like, oh my, no. I thought he was going to die. It was horrible. It was horrible for me, okay? And then his dad was like, oh, you know, you're no son of mine. And it was just very tragic. It messed him up in the end. Like, all he wanted was his father's approval, y'all. And he didn't get it. I was just not having a good time. I almost cried at the moment when his father was going to kill him. I swear I really thought he was. Because then it switched to Amari's point of view, and she saw it about to happen, and she went over there, and she ended up killing him, which was just amazing. She was like, I'll make a much better queen. She snapped! Amari snapped! But that was the thing. But I really thought he was going to die for like a page, and I was about to cry. Love that for us. But anyway, we don't see him again, because and then it's not really important like anymore, because then basically the whole last part of the book is the ritual. And then she does the ritual because she figures out that her magic, like in her father's blood, makes her just jump out and just, she snaps on everybody. Zelia snap. I love her. But anyway, so then she does the ritual and stuff, and the last few pages is Tizan and Amari start doing magic, and then they're looking at each other, and the last line is, because this book was legendary, I just feel like y'all should read the last line or whatever. Then my blood chills to ice, because she starts looking at everybody with their magic out, and she's just like, wow, like that's just the last scene of the book. Like, love some cliffhangers, but that was just amazing. The book was amazing. It was so nice seeing black freaking people doing something other than what they usually do in books and movies or whatever. It was just so nice seeing them in that fantasy you know, novel stuff that I love with the prince and the king and whatever. It was so refreshing. I really related to Inen, my favorite character. Can't wait to see him in the sequel. Can't wait for the sequel, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, and I am so excited. I hope you enjoyed this book chat. I hope my camera's still on because I've been talking for a while. And I'll see you later with another book chat.